Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to repot my palm, Trachycarpus Fortunei, or we call it the eagle palm. But before we get started, I'm going to prepare some compost, as you can see here, which I'm going to bury on the bottom of the pot for additional nutrients. What's the name of the palm?
I don't know.
Trachycarpus Fortunei.
Yes, that one.
That one. Or we call it the eagle palm.
Yes, there you go, Pom. What?
Or
Huh?
crushing all the eggshells.
Not it.
Yesterday I wanted to repot this eagle palm, but it rained, and here in the balcony, when it rains hard, the water comes in, so I had to stop it. I hope to do this repotting really quickly before it gets dark and before it gets very cold. So this is the Trachycarpus Fortunei, and it's also known as the eagle palm. It's winter hard, so the entire winter I just let it here in my balcony together with my Camerops humilis. These two are winter hard, so I could just let them here outside the balcony. As you can see, it's new fronds coming, and the pot is not big enough for it. It needs to have a bigger space because most of this in the pot, inside the pot, are just roots. This is already the second time that I'll be repotting it because when I got it, it came with a much smaller pot, and the way that it grew was actually diagonal, was not straight, and the root system was also diagonal. So when I repotted it, I made it stand straight so that most of the roots here were high and the other side were low, and I just covered it with soil to even it out. I was hoping that it wouldn't get root rot, the trunk wouldn't get rotten, but fortunately it survived. So this is a lot straighter now than it used to be. I want these two, my Camerops and this eagle palm, to grow really big and tall, and if I can have two of them, that's my third one here. If I can have 2 or 3 tall palm trees in my balcony, then I would really love it. It will give me an exotic feel. I'll be using a normal potting soil mixed with cactus and bonsai mix. Actually, I wanted to add some perlite, but I don't have perlite right now, and I can't just go to the garden store and get some perlite. I can order from the Amazon, but it will take a while to come because right now we have an issue with delivery. So thankfully my husband was able to get me 3 packs of cactus mix the other day, so I'll just make use of what I have. But I think it will be okay to mix just a normal potting soil and cactus mix, as long as there's enough cactus mix in the mix so that it will make the soil a fast draining mixture. That's what I did last time I repotted, and the palm seemed to be doing fine. My husband had to help me take the palm off the pot because it was really hard. I want to show you the size of the pot. So this is my pot, and when I took it out, it's already root bound, quite root bound. So this is the entire pot. There's no extra soil there. That means it's really the perfect time to repot now to give it more soil and bigger space. So we can see this is the cactus mix. It's quite sandy. You know, Depending on the brand of cactus mix that I buy, the mixture that they use is also different. Sometimes there are perlites, sometimes they use more sand. This one is quartz sand and some lava. So we're just gonna mix this. I really love indoor gardening, and now I'm extending my gardening to vegetables, and I use, as I've showed you in my last video, I use my under the balcony space. Oh, I still have to give you an update of my lettuce, guys. The lettuce are growing really big now. But what I find is that this gardening hobby is good for my mental health. When I moved here in Germany, I was depressive. And I was depressive because of the weather. Every winter I had depression, and because I didn't have friends really. I mean, I made some friends, but you know, the social life is limited for me. And then when I started to have plants, indoor plants, I felt better. It became my hobby, and I believe it's good for my mental health. But I would also admit that this hobby is expensive. It's addictive and it's also expensive. But I would say it's worth it. You know, instead of paying money for a therapist, just use that money to grow plants at home. I think I think that's a better option if you kind of lonely, or if you don't have an active social life. Go for indoor plants. I'm just glad that my husband is very supportive of this hobby. He helps me. He also finance my hobby. He's he's my financer. So, but he also enjoys my plants. You know, my husband. He enjoys checking on my plants. He tells me when some plants are dry, and I get busy. Then he and I sometimes I'm working in the kitchen. I would see him walk around the living room and just enjoying the plants. So I'm happy when I see him enjoying my plants. My husband and I are both homebodies, so we don't really have an active social life. We stay home all the time. So I would say I found my perfect match because I'm also a homebody. But when the cold seasons come in, that's when I tend to get lonely, and when the sun is gone, I can get depressive. But since I had my indoor jungle, I had few bouts of depression because I'm busy with my projects, busy with my plants. busy with my 3 years old, so I don't notice anymore the weather like I used to. The sand is already mixed. This is my blended compost. It's of banana peel and eggshells and some food scraps in the kitchen. They're already old, so they look dark now. I'm just gonna layer here and I will bury them. I also did this with my, I'm not gonna put everything because I think it's too much. I also did this with my Camirops humilis. So that's now my blended food scraps, and I'm going to cover it with more soil. I'll just gonna break the bottom a little bit so to signal the palm that it's okay to spread. Still a bit crooked, so I'm just gonna anchor it in the bottom here with hi. Just gonna anchor it here. I'm trying to position it so that it's straight because they are a bit diagonal. Good. Cover it up. in all, I used about 25 liter of normal potting soil and 10 liter of cactus mix for this size of eagle palm. Yeah, I'm not sure the exact quantity of the pot here, but it's quite a big pot. So now the palm looks bigger. It has enough room for its roots to spread and enough space to grow. I hope it will grow a lot bigger this summer. Had this for about 1.5 years. So it's going to be 2 years this summer. You want to make sure that the bottom of its trunk is not covered with soil because it will cause rot, can cause diseases, and can actually kill your plant. I like to keep this palm covered from the wind. In days when there is strong wind, I put it close to the wall, covered, can easily break, and it will look ugly when battered by the wind. Unlike my Camerops humilis, this girl, she's very strong against the wind. I just leave her in the open. She will stand, she will bear it. Camerops humilis, and I have this eagle palm, Trachycarpus Fortunei. Yeah, this girl is lean and tall. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you got some tips on how to repot your eagle palm or your Trachycarpus Fortunei. See you again.